Hey there, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Charlotte with Colorful Teaching for You, and today we're going to look at how we can overcome stress and burnout. Now, stress, if not dealt with, it does lead to anxiety, and anxiety, if we let it fester for a while, it leads to burnout. And we don't want that because we love our jobs, that's why we're in it. So, many teachers, it's not a matter of if it's going to happen to us, it's a matter of when. And for a lot of teachers, it actually happens within the first 5 years of teaching and some much later on. We want to be able to prevent this for as long as we possibly can. Because when we're experiencing burnout, it could be for so many different reasons that aren't always within our control. It could be for, lack of support from administration, maybe parents or students or other people wanting something from you, and just so much more. Those things we can control to an extent, but not overly. So let's look at what we can control, because all of this is manageable. None of this is hopeless, all right? I want you to remember this. So let's get into the steps. There's 4 steps. Number 1 is love your boundaries. I've said this time and time again. Make sure you create and you maintain very clear boundaries. So if you have a parent that needs something from you or is upset, or you've got a friend that wants to go out, the answer is no, because you need to care for yourself first. This is not being selfish. This is being mindful of your needs, because if you're not fully present in your body and in your mind, you're not going to be of any good to anybody else. Okay? So put yourself first by saying, nope, this is my boundary. And then I want you to go further with this and remember that if you don't respond to an upset parent within, say, an hour, 24 hours, 48 hours, their life's not going to fall apart. They're not going to die. They're not going to, shrivel up into, melted snow. But what is going to happen, my friend, is your life is going to start to deteriorate over time. It may not seem like it right away, but it will happen. So I want you to be able to get into the habit of setting clear boundaries of when you need time for yourself, and when you are able to give of yourself. Okay? The second, and if you don't know how to create boundaries, I have done a video about that, and I will link to that so that you can go to that right after this and create those clear boundaries for yourself. Okay? The second step is to use your voice. If you feel, and there are many teachers that feel that they are not being heard by either administration or by parents, my friend, you're, at least outside of school, I want you to be able to find a way to get your voice heard. Now, try for the first time. If it doesn't work, try again and try again. If it doesn't work again, at that point, go above and look at who else can hear you. Keep going higher and higher up that chain. And if you are still not able to get someone to listen to you, then at this point, it is time for you to look for another job unless you're really happy where you're at. Now, I'm not telling you quit your job and then go look for another one right away, because you have bills to pay, I'm sure. So I'm asking you to look for another job while you have your current job, and then switch when you're ready. Because one of the most important things that at least I've experienced is being and feeling supported by the people that you work with. And if you are not feeling that way, then it is important that you find a place where you and your voice are heard and cared for. Okay? The third step is to create a plan. So planning the night before for the very next day, your lesson for the next day, or your entire day really, is exhausting. I used to do this, and I was going from like one thing to the next. It felt like I was on a treadmill. Like I was never getting off that. So the exhaustion at that point became very real, and I started to not enjoy teaching. So I'm asking you to plan ahead, think ahead. Okay? And if you don't know how to do that, or if you are struggling to find the motivation to do that because you are tired, then I encourage you to join my free masterclass, Systematic Plan to Super Passionate, because that's going to help you come up with a plan so that you can find some time for step number 4, and you're going to get all the templates ready for you, so you're only just planning, and that's it. Okay? Step number 4 that we just talked about is find your passion. And I've mentioned this in last week's episode as well, because it is very important that you find the time to work on something that interests you. For the longest time, when people asked me what my passion was, my answer was teaching. Because my entire life revolved around teaching. I didn't have time for anything or anyone. I barely had time for my family. So now, because I've created this time for myself, I can say, oh, I enjoy reading now. I enjoy immersing myself in science fiction. I really like singing, making a fool of myself when I'm dancing because I'm not very good at it, but I love it. And I really enjoy looking up different jokes and memes because I like to, play jokes on people or tell them jokes. Gets me all fired up. So these are things I'm super passionate about. What are you passionate about? Look for that. If you're not sure how to find your passion, I will link to the video so that you can figure that out, and then you're going to schedule in time that you get to work on your passion. All right? Now, let's recap really quickly what we've talked about. We've looked at the importance of managing our stress and burnout. We've looked at 4 ways to do that. And the first way is to love your boundaries. The second one is to use your voice. The third is to create a plan, a systemized plan ahead of time. And the fourth is to find your passion and really get into it, immerse yourself into it, okay? Now, if you are still feeling like you're not sure about where to go, or if you've tried all this and you're still feeling stressed out, please feel free to contact me because I'm here to support you. Feel free to join our free Facebook group, which is Empowered and Intermediate for for teachers and homeschooling parents. And you can also check out my free resource library, www.colorfulteachingforyou/freebies, because you will get a lot of free reflection guides, but you'll also get a specific one that's going to help you with self-care as well. All right? If you need anything, remember, contact me. In the meantime, remember to create, experience, and teach from the heart. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again, same place, same time, next week. Take care, my friends. Bye.